Hi, my name's Matthew Drury. I'm an assistant psychologist and I work for the Isle of Man Government's Community Wellbeing Service, which is part of the wider government mental health service. I'm creating this psychological first aid video today for frontline staff to be able to spot the signs and symptoms of grief, whilst also how to approach somebody who might be experiencing grief, and giving you some support services that are available to people who may be experiencing grief at this time. Grief is a natural response to loss. It's the emotional feeling you get when someone you love or something you have has been taken away. You may experience grief following a divorce, loss of health, losing a job, loss of financial stability, a miscarriage, death of a pet, death of a loved one, loss of a friendship, a loved one's serious illness, loss of safety after trauma, or selling your family home. And due to coronavirus, we've lost a lot of different things, such as our social contacts, communication with people via face-to-face, normal working environment. Often, the pain of this loss can feel quite overwhelming. People may experience a variety of different emotions, and these emotions may also be unexpected. They range from shock, anger, disbelief, denial, guilt, and profound sadness. The pain of grief can also affect people's physical health, making it difficult to sleep, to eat. It can even make it difficult to think straight, as your mind is so focused on lots of different painful emotions. All these different emotional experiences are a normal reaction to loss, and the more significant the loss, the more intense your grief may be. Whatever an individual's loss is, it's personal to them, and they will experience it in their own way. There's no right or wrong way for an individual to grieve. How you grieve depends on many factors, including your personality and coping style, your life experiences, your faith. A grieving process takes time. It can't be forced and it can't be hurried. Some people might start feeling better in weeks, some months, and some maybe even years. I'm going to outline now some signs and symptoms of grief you may want to familiarise yourself with in case you experience any patients or colleagues that may be showing some of these signs. So people may experience a sense of shock and disbelief. After a loss, it can be hard to accept what's happened. People might feel numb, have trouble believing that the loss has actually happened, or even deny the truth. If someone you know has lost a loved one and are grieving, they may still sound like they're expecting that person to show up or be there in some way. Profound sadness is probably the clearest sign that someone is suffering from grief. People may feel a sense of despair, yearning, emptiness, or deep loneliness. People may also experience a lot of guilt. People may regret things or feel guilty for the things they didn't do. So you may hear people saying things like, if only I would have done this. They may feel angry and frustrated at themselves. They may be angry with the doctors, God, whoever it is that they think has done something to contribute towards this loss. This might come out in behaviours that might be shouting, blaming others. When we feel a sense of grief, we may also have a heightened sense of fear. This is because grief naturally creates a sense of worry as people have lost something that's important to them. So this can create fears around when things can go back to normal, the loss of mortality, or facing life without a particular person, or facing a new life with all these changes. So you might notice fear inside of people, asking a lot of what ifs or predicting negative outcomes. There are also physical symptoms of grief, such as tiredness, fatigued, lower immunity, weight loss or weight gain, aches and pains. Sometimes when something is really painful to us emotionally, we might feel that in certain areas of our body, our shoulders, our neck, our heart, our stomach. People may also suffer from insomnia or poor eating habits, eating less or eating more than usual. It has been said that there are stages to grief, and these stages consist of denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. These stages are not linear. People can feel denial, people can feel depression, people can feel anger and bargaining at different times throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year. This is a fluctuating process. When things have changed and we've lost things, people, anything that's important to us, the way we react to this is a very individual experience. Common signs to look out for, as discussed, are intense sadness, fear, guilt, blaming oneself or blaming others, anger, shock and disbelief, avoidance. To approach someone who's struggling with grief, remember the acronym ALERT. Firstly, approach. You may want to notice what you've seen in somebody, such as, I notice you keep saying that things are your fault and that you could have done something to change things. This is a sign of grief. And then listen. Listen to what that person has to say. And try not to judge or jump in and ask too many questions. Allowing that person to share their experience with you will really go a long way for them personally. And then explain the information that you have. You might want to explain the information from this video. You might want to direct them to this video. And you can explain to them that there is services available to them and reinforce that there is help available for grief. And afterwards, take time. Talking to somebody about grief and loss is difficult. It might be upsetting. This is why taking time is essential. And if you've approached somebody using ALERT and you need to talk to your manager and say to them, you're struggling, take that time. That time is important for you to readjust. Firstly, following a bereavement, cruise bereavement care would be a specialist service on the Isle of Man that people can contact in order for them to get some support with grief. And the contact number for cruise is 668 191. There are also online services that you can talk to, forums, groups, self-help websites, such as those listed. You could also visit the nhs.co.uk website for more information about grief. Other support services might be Samaritans. Encouraging people to talk to their friends and families and loved ones will also help relieve emotional pain. Other self-care tips such as relaxation, breathing exercises, trying to maintain a healthy, balanced lifestyle. Remember, grief is complicated and individual to each person, so the signs and symptoms aren't easy to notice, but having the acronym ALERT might make it easier for you to approach these people, as you might be experiencing similar feelings to your colleagues and patients. So please look after yourself too. And again, thanks for all the hard work that you're contributing to your community. Our island is in this together. Thank you.